All right, let's continue some college football talk, not with who's your X factor, but instead let's take a look at our picks for a breakout player from OU and OSU. Guys, one each, and there could easily be more in a lot of cases. Dusty, let's start.
Only one?
Yes,
just one, John. All right,
Yes.
there's several players, as John just mentioned, I thought about here. But I think the player I trust the most to break out is Wake Forest transfer Rondell Bothroyd. I expect the Sooners' defensive line to be improved this year. Bothroyd is a big reason why. I believe he's already the best defensive end the Sooners have. He's a veteran that knows how to play the game the right way. Good punch, can get off blocks, plays the run, and can rush the passer. 14 sacks over the last 2 years, and the Sooners' defense needs that presence on the edge and maybe even inside in pass rush situations. For Oklahoma State, I got to go Ollie Gordon. Look, we only saw the freshman get 60 carries last year, but there were flashes that let you thinking, man, this kid can be special. The Cowboys are going to place a greater emphasis on running the football, and there's no better candidate to be the bell cow than the sophomore running back. He brings size, speed, power to the table, and seems to be primed for a big year, so long as the offensive line can be improved along that front, Dean.
Well, like Dusty, I looked at some others. I mean, I always picked at Barnes, Peyton Bowen, Deshaun McCullough, but I've loved Gavin Freeman since his Charger days and his breakout opener at OU. Didn't surprise me one iota when Venables picked the 5'8.5", 192-pound slot receiver as the one who stood out in conditioning and on-field work. Gavin had diminutive predecessors at Heritage Hall: Sterling Shepard, Wes Welker. He's not the first small receiver to excel, and he does have advantages in being explosive, tough, bright, versatile, a route runner, great hands, and a winner. My OU breakout player, number 82 in your program, number 1 in some of your hearts at OSU. Right there, I'm going with the fearless receiver with parents who were Army vets, by the way, Jaden Bray from Norman High School, 6'2", redshirt sophomore, bright in the classroom and on the field. Missed last season to injury. He's had a couple, but Bray's already proven he has the hands and the body and now the opportunity to break out. Formerly number 82 in your program, now number 5.
85.
85.
As for the Sooners, if they're going to get back to where they think they'll be this season, they'll have to be able to run the ball effectively. Gavin Sawchuk has, Dean, what Coach Barry Switzer used to repeat on his playback shows more than any other phrase: speed and quickness. Speed and quickness. And in the bowl game with Florida State, 15 carries, 100 yards, and a touchdown. At OSU, it's not like we haven't said Kendall Daniels' name a time or two, and he made some plays last season, but now he has a full season under his belt, and he'll have more opportunities to be a run stopper. The Cowboys' new scheme. He's put on 20 pounds. He's up at 225, says he feels more explosive, and he's got that tremendous wingspan. His catch radius for defenders off the charts. And teams better think twice before throwing out routes with him in the area. All right, let's shift now to team performance. All 3 schools in the state did not measure up to their own expectations last season, but hope springs eternal even in 100-degree heat. Thank God for the break this weekend. Season records for OSU, OU, and TU. Dusty?
I got to go first. All right, I got Oklahoma at 10-2. I think the offense is going to be really good with Gabriel running the show for a second straight year. By the way, quarterback depth this year, I really like their offensive line of running backs. The defense will be better. I think the safety room has a chance to be really good. Schedule sets up great for Oklahoma. Should be 5-0 heading to Dallas. Lawrence and Stillwater won't be walks in the park. But OU bounces back with a double-digit win regular season and a chance to be back hanging another Big 12 banner. As far as Oklahoma State, I'm going 8-4. Look, Vegas set the over-under at 6-5 or 6.5 wins, but I'm buying Gundy's group this year. They need to win in Tempe, which won't be easy, but I expect they will. No Texas, no Texas Tech, no TCU on the schedule for the Cowboys. And they get all 4 of the newbies in the final 5 weeks. Depth is going to be an issue for those new schools at that point. I'm buying Alan Bowman and an 8-win season for the Cowboys. As far as Tulsa, look, I love my man, Coach Wilson at T-Town. He's going to win games. Braylon Braxton's going to have a big year. But Oklahoma and Washington, the non-con, road games to end the season. Tulane at East Carolina, too much. I see a 5-win season. Chance of a bowl appearance, but more than likely that'll come in year 2.
Well, the Big 12 media picked OU 3rd in the league. 9.5 wins is the regular season over and under. OU lost all 5 one-score games. They'll improve, but remember, teams with the best players and coaches win most of those one-score games. 7 losses in 22 was a nightmare. Started 3-0 with 3 layups, but in the final 10, only 3 more wins. So I'm looking for a bounce-back season within reason. Easiest schedule in memory. Tougher games at home and, of course, in Dallas. This season, 23, another 3-0 layup start. Week 4, must play well in Cincinnati and an underdog in Dallas. They pulled off the Dogs last year, or that margin could have been much worse. Horns had, and I think still have, the better roster. I see 3 more league wins, a 9-3 regular season. Anything less is concerning. In Stillwater, schedule maybe even easier. I see Gundy having an improved team, 8-4, and a Bedlam finale where OSU will be an underdog probably. Play it close. Can Gundy improve his record to 4-15 against his rival? That would be something in the finale. And I've got Tulsa finishing 6-6 this season.
All right, I'll start with OSU. It wasn't that long ago. The Cowboys were rolling and then dropped that overtime game at TCU. And after the win over Texas, things spiraled the wrong way. Many aren't expecting much this fall, and that's usually when Mike Gundy's teams outperform expectations. Keep Alan Bowman healthy, and the Cowboys could end up 9-3. Now, I expect the Sooners to bounce back. The defense should be better. Knowing that Texas has been picked to win the league should at least provide a little extra motivation. You have to be able to run the ball to keep Dillon Gabriel from having to do too much, but I think they will, and I'll say 9-3. Meanwhile, at Tulsa, Kevin Wilson seems pleased with how fall camp has started. It's far from a finished product. And if you want to know who he's pretty excited about, look no farther than OSU transfer Braylon Presley. He has that open field feel to make big plays. I'll go 7-5 and a chance to go bowling. All right, this is the final Big 12 season, obviously, for OU and Texas before moving to the SEC. Time to predict who'll win the Big 12 this fall.
All the pressure on me to go first tonight. Look, I really believe this league is wide open once again. I can honestly make a case for 6 or 7 teams that could make their way to Arlington for a Big 12 title. But if I got to pick one, it pains me. But I got to go with the Texas Longhorns to win the Big 12. Here we are, guys. Look, they got the most talented team in the league going into the season. They're very stout along the line of scrimmage. And if Ewers shows improvement, they're going to be tough to beat, Dino.
Well, I'm saying Texas looks like a champ, too. And Sark is talking like a champion. We'll have to once again see if Texas is really back. But the league isn't loaded with heavyweights. Texas is full of experience, and they've clearly recruited very well and boast that they've been developing players better than ever. Big boys should have the line of scrimmage dominated. As Dusty said, I expect Ewers, the quarterback, to have a big year. By all counts and sources who've eyeballed him, he's changed physically and mentally. An NFL arm that projects him being a first-round pick in the 24 draft. I'm picking them, but remind you, it's no coincidence the Longhorns' apparent big jump comes after NIL money plays a major role.
No doubt about it. It's been all gas up to this point. Maybe it'll be all gas, no brakes finally.